And hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to TVI's monthly bowling show. I'm Jamie Davis, joined by Louie LaRose this week. And Louie, thanks for stopping in and helping out today.
That's okay, Jamie. Glad to be here.
Okay, we're giving, or excuse me, Frank, I'm sorry. Louie's out there today.
Yeah, Louie's the bowler, I guess.
Louie's the bowler. Well, thanks for stopping in, and give Tony a day off here. And we're just about ready to go with our first match in our singles event. It'll be Leo LaShomb and Steve LaShomb, and this is a rematch of earlier this season, I think.
Yes, it is, Jamie. Leo will be getting one pin, and we'll see what happens here.
And we're all set to go, and the first bowler will be Steve LaShomb.
Leo told me earlier that he didn't want to bowl against his son again, but he's back.
Well, Steve LaShomb comes up. Of course, Steve just received his master's degree in mathematics here just a little while back. And a solid strike for Steve LaShomb to start things off, and he's not going to give his dad any leeway at all, is he?
No, he told me earlier he's going right out to try to win this show. And we'll see how Leo reacts to this one, Jamie.
Now here's Leo LaShomb. And Leo, just a little outside right there, and he leaves the 2-pin. Of course, Leo, a veteran of this sport of 30 years plus. And says he's bowling in 2 leagues this season, plus he's subbing once in a while, too, apparently. So
he's in and out just about every other day practicing also.
And a solid spare on the 2-pin for Leo LaShomb in our first frame, and Leo will step up now on lane 7, or excuse me, lane 5. Good rolling ball, Leo LaShomb. Solid strike that time for Leo. He's got such a nice, easy delivery, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Jamie. And he's the only guy I know. He buy any new ball that comes on the market, he wants to try it, and he gets it. If I can get the ball, he wants it, and he tries it.
Those are the kind of bowlers that a pro shop likes.
Yes, yes, sir.
Steve LaShomb now. Steve buries a solid strike for a double.
Very nice.
And he is showing no compassion for his fellow bowler whatsoever.
No, he isn't.
And some of Steve's hobbies are bowling, baseball, softball. He likes horse racing, just like me, reading. He's from right here in Massena and works part-time for his dad, too.
Yes, he does.
For now, anyway.
Right.
Brooklyn side leaving the 5-10. He's been bowling for 19 years. His girlfriend, Mary Claire, I think she's here watching today.
I believe she is in the crowd, yes. Stevie come up through the junior program, Jamie, and I tell you, I've known him since he was about 7 years old, so...
And he tries for that 5-10, can't quite do it. So an open for Steve LaShomb after starting out with a solid double. You know, many of us came up through that junior program, and that's the way to start this game, I can tell you that.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun. The kids have a lot of fun bowling.
Oh. And buried a solid pocket hit, but he leaves the 7-pin.
Leo wastes no time, Jamie. He's right up there, raring to go for that spare.
I notice he makes that change to a little harder ball for that cross alley shot normally, but he has the ball slide by the 7-pin right there. Ooh, and a little finger pointing there to start things off.
Trying to get Stevie off his game, maybe.
Hotly contested match already. And Leo gets a little outside, leaving the 1-2 for 7. Of course, as we said, Leo is a 30-year veteran of this sport. There you get a look at our score. Ooh, a little bit to the left, leaving the 2-4-7. So a pair of opens for Leo LaShomb, and we haven't got much of a handicap difference here, do we?
No, 1 pin with Leo receiving the 1 pin, and Stevie's going to just come on strong now, I believe.
Solid pocket hit for Steve LaShomb right there, and Steve is back on his game again. Steve so far, strike, strike, open, and a strike. It's all or not at all, I guess.
That's true. But see, the conditions today, there's a lot more oil out there today, and the back ends aren't really grabbing as much as they used to do.
Good idea to keep the ball rolling and keep it slow today. Little outside, light hit, leaving the 4-8 for Steve LaShomb. Steve has had a high series. His highest series ever bowled is a 692, a 686 in tournament play, and that's the time to do it.
Yes, it is.
Highest game ever bowled in league play was 267, and in tournament play, another great score, and that's the time to have it at 259.
That's good bowling.
And a solid spare right there on the 4-8 for Steve LaShomb.
Gives him an 82 in the fourth, and Leo's coming up in the fifth frame. Leo's got 66 in the fourth.
Ball rolling very well. Ooh, solid pocket hit, and Leo LaShomb leaving the 10-pin out there. That's the second solid pocket hit that Leo has had, where that 10-pin has just stayed there.
Yes.
Ooh, and he goes on by, and that's 3 opens for Leo LaShomb.
You don't want to miss spares, Jamie. If you can pick a spare, that's once you miss them, that's 10 pins are gone off your score. You got to come back with a double once you miss a spare. And
I think that's one of the things we talked about on the tip of the week, the 7 and the 10 pin when we were working on it
right.
that time. Ooh, a little bit high on the nose right there, and leaves the 4-7, 6-10. Not a favorite split of any bowler.
No. He's got that old nail he's throwing right now. That ball's been around.
Oh, look at that shot right there. And Leo giving it a pretty good try right there. Takes out the 6-10. But a number of opens now, and Leo didn't need that split right there.
No, he didn't. That's 4 opens in a row. That's too many.
All right.
Oh.
Ooh, Steve LaShomb, as you saw our score there, another solid pocket hit and a 10-pin. In a condition like this, it has a slight tendency, the ball, to just skid just a little bit. Even when it's driving like that, it's not quite completely finishing, and that's why those 10s are staying there.
That's true. Lately, the last couple weeks here at Seaway Bowl, a lot of corner pins have been left with balls in the pocket. And could be to do with the fact of the weather, too, changing so fast.
Solid spare on the 10-pin for Steve LaShomb. And maybe you'd like to run down, Frank, the list of qualifiers that, well, didn't make it, but they still cashed just the same there in that top 9.
Okay, our alternate was Adrian Traska.
Solid pocket hit for Steve LaShomb.
He shot a 691 with a handicap. He received $25. Tom Portalese, a lefty, just missed a cut, 686. He received $20. Mark LaShomb, that's Leo's son.
Leo finding the pocket once again.
Shot 684, received $18. And Billy Daggett, 665, he received $12. Total payout for this month was $775, Jamie, with 90 entries. We're down a little bit, but should pick up in March.
Okay, so 90 entries, there's nothing wrong with that. And of course, later on down the line here in the show, we'll tell you how you can qualify still for the TBI Monthly Bowling Show. Oh, solid hit, late 9-pin right there, but it still goes down. And a huge double for Leo LaShomb right there.
Very nice. And he's going to be down a few pins, and the 4 opens didn't help at all.
The way to get rid of them is to keep striking.
That's true.
A double every time eliminates one of them. Steve LaShomb now, he's got a pretty good lead out there. Oh, another solid pocket hit with a 10-pin, and that's just the ball, just not... You almost can't correct something like that. You shouldn't.
That's true.
Because if the speed is just and that close.
If you're leaving them, I stay right there. They got to go sometime. They got to go.
They certainly do.
You see them today, too. Like I said, there's a little more oil. You want to get the ball down quickly to start getting a roll on the ball, so it'll turn.
Cross alley shot, and Steve picks up the 10-pin. You know, that's tough for a lot of bowlers. A lot of bowlers think, well, you know, I'll start throwing that ball just a little bit harder and a little bit tighter. Well, that's not the case a lot of the time.
No, it doesn't work that way. We know that. I know that for sure.
when you're getting a ball to finish like that, normally it's just, like you said, it's best to stay with it and just keep going. The 10 will finally go because it'll dry out a little bit, and eventually the ball will start really finishing.
Yes.
Oh, my. Now, there's something you don't see all the time, but it does happen, and that's one of those situations where the ball's finishing a little behind the 5-pin, and
that's right.
Goes to the wall.
5 did nothing but go back, and that's it, Jamie. It was a nice ball, but nothing you can do about that.
I used to have a fella I used to bowl with. He told me when I did that, he'd tell me I had too much ball for the house.
Yeah.
Well, now get out of the 7-10. I noticed Steve a little bit disappointed right there, and that's probably the ugliest kind of thing to happen in bowling, is to have that happen with a pocket hit. You know, if you're on the nose, it might happen, but...
That's true. Plus in the 9th frame, foundation frame, that hurts a little bit.
Oh, you're working on a double. And he gets the triple, and a big triple right there for Leo LaShomb, and he's making somewhat of a stab at it right here.
Yes, he is.
Did very well. If he keeps going, could force Steve to mark here.
Yes, he could. I mean, Leo throws strikes out here in the 10th. That'll give him a 203, I believe, and that'll pull Stevie out.
Little outside. That ball didn't quite come up, and oh my, 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Oh, we must have jinxed him.
That could be. Or maybe he thought he was getting a little too ahead of Stevie.
Put some fear into him a little bit, though. He came right back, and like we said, this is kind of a rematch of earlier this season.
It's nice. It's good to be able to bowl with your children, though. Really.
Oh, it certainly is.
They bowl together in leagues on Thursday night with me, and we have a good time.
There's a lot of father-son combinations out there on teams, isn't there?
Yes, there is, which is great. You know.
Yes.
You can do anything with your children, and it's a lot of fun.
Talk about quality time. There's a real perfect example of it right there. And, well, I wouldn't want to try that again. I can tell you that, and I wouldn't bet on it either. Right between the two. I don't know how it happened, but he did it again, and
he ended up with 158.
158.
Right now.
And that definitely is not Leo LaShomb.
No, it isn't. No. Stevie's the winner of the first match.
Steve LaShomb, and he's 167 in the 9th. But, of course, you always want to finish with a good score. And Steve, right there, he mixes them right up with a lot of turn on that ball, and big strike right there.
Good ball. Very nice ball there.
Is a ball like that that hard to control, throwing it like that? I know there's a lot of power there at the end when it hits the pocket, but sometimes when conditions vary, is it pretty tough to shoot a shot like that?
Well, with Stevie, the way he throws, if he isn't around that pocket, I mean, he's got to be, I'm saying, Jamie, really strong into the pocket. If not, he'll leave some weird stuff. Okay? Well, when he went away to school, Rickards School down in Utica, I believe it is down in Utica, and they tried to correct him out of that backswing he's got, okay? They just couldn't do it. Down there, he did bowl like the correction, but he came back, but he is a good bowler.
And he does a good job picking up the 1, 2, 4, 5, and with one more mark, he'll have a total of 187 with a strike coming up here.
Right.
I noticed in a lot of the schools, a lot of the kids back a few years ago, and I think
I don't know where they're going, Jamie, but
I don't know. Steve's got one more ball there to throw, and well, he.
Okay.
Okay. All righty. Well, that'll do it. Steve LaShomb is the winner of our first match, and we have more to come right here on TVI's Monthly Bowling Show. And welcome back to TVI's Monthly Bowling Show. Jamie Davis along with Frank LaRose. I got it right that time.
You got it right. Okay, Jamie.
And we're just about ready to start our second match. And this time, Steve LaShomb moves on to take on Ray Stone, I believe, in this match here.
Yes, Jamie. Ray Stone's a newcomer here. It's the first time on TV. And for the past month, he's been throwing a heck of a ball. He's throwing that new Code Red made by Track.
And just a little outside the pocket with that one and leaves the 2-pin. I believe this is Ray's first appearance on the show this season.
Yes, it is.
Picked a good time to qualify. You might as well, while you're red hot, you might as well get right in. Ray likes bowling and he likes golf. Well, he likes two sports that I like.
We all like golf, I believe.
Resides right here in Massena, New York, and works at the Realty Construction. Ooh, that ball getting away just a little bit. And a miss on the 2-pin to start things off. That brings up Steve LaShomb again. Well, Frank, maybe you'd like to tell everyone out there how they can qualify for TBI's monthly bowling show, as we've still got, I think, a couple of shows left.
Yes, we do. And if you're a league bowler, you can qualify during league play. The cost is $12. You use your handicap or your average last year, unless your 10 pins higher this year.
Solid pocket hit right there, and the 10-pin again, and that has been plaguing Steve just a little bit. It did in the first match.
Well, that's a nightmare, that 10-pin, and for a righty, and even the 7, Jamie, for a lefty. Last couple weeks, there have been a lot of corner pins in this house. Also, you can come down during open play with a pacer, and it costs us $18 to qualify for the TV show.
Steve LaShomb, across the alley shot, and a big spare right there for Steve. Steve, as we said, resides right here in Massena. He's been bowling for 19 years. He's in one league this year. He didn't bowl in the league last year. Of course, he was going to school, and that had a lot to do with him not bowling last year, but...
He likes competition. You know, we go to a few tournaments together, and he's a good guy to out there on your team to bowl with.
Solid pocket strike for Steve LaShomb. He went to the Coca-Cola Junior, he had a Coca-Cola Junior scholarship in the singles tournament. He went to the Junior Bowling State Tournament. I participated in that. That was quite an event, and especially when you get a chance to bowl with people that end up on the tour, and 6 of the people I was there with that weekend ended up on the professional women's and men's tour, so it was really something for me.
It's a good honor to, you know, be around them people.
It certainly is. It certainly is. 1-2-5-10 for Ray Stone. Sure, Ray's wife, Shirley, is here today watching. Of course, his boys, Keith and Paul and Rich. And the girls, Lisa and Becky.
I believe they're all down in the Massachusetts area. That's where he's from.
Ooh, and that one not quite coming up, and Ray looks like he's having a problem adjusting out there a little bit.
He could be a little nervous being the first time on TV, but like I said, Jamie, this past week, 2 weeks, he's been throwing a heck of a ball. He qualified. He was in the 4th spot, and he said, I want to get higher, and he moved up to the 3rd spot, and then last Friday night, he said, I want to beat Louie out of that spot. He had 6-something and opened in the 9th and 10th.
Oh, my. Well, they 3-6-10, and Ray's got a nice rolling ball. In fact, the speed of the ball he's throwing today is almost an ideal speed for the condition.
Yes, it is, and if the back ends might be a little drier, that ball would drive a little more.
Good rolling shot right there. Nice and easy, 3-6-10 spare. So Ray gets a mark, and that'll probably get him going a little bit better right there.
Yeah, relieve the tension. But you don't want to give Stevie much of a chance, I tell you.
No, you don't, because I'm sure he can string them.
I watched Stevie for many years, and he's a terrific bowler and athlete all around. Hard ball.
Says that one of the things he's got to concentrate on is his spare bowling. Keeping that hook controlled on spares. That's one of the things he said that's been bothering him on his game.
That's true. If he could learn maybe to kill the ball a little more on a spare, to cut down on that hook he's got, that could help.
Solid strike right there. You don't have to worry about any spares when you get one of them. So Steve moves up to lane 5 now.
They're also shooting for that top prize today is $325.
Nothing wrong with that. Not a bad day's work right there. And gets the big mix from the outside on the head pin and cleans them off. Another big strike for Steve LaShomb.
Gives him 59 in the second. And Ray's got 31 in the second, working on a spare.
outside, leaves the 2-pin. Tournaments that he's won, he's got one down here. Gee, bowled with you in it, in fact, he says. 1994 FNL Seaway 2-man, 9-pin, no tap. Another a lot of fun, aren't they?
Yes, it was. And that's the only time I don't have to pick that 7-pin. Is when I bowl 9-pin, no tap.
You've never been so happy to push the reset button. Am I
True.
right on that?
That's true.
Crossing over, and a spare on the 2-pin for Ray Stone.
Yeah, this time of year, there's a lot of tournaments out there around the area. We tried to get one in one the other day, and they were all filled up for 2 days in advance in Potsdam, which is big right now. Everybody wants to get into the tournaments, try to win some money, and 9-pin no tap in this area is very strong.
Yeah, the second half of the regular league season is underway, and it's not going to be too long before it's banquet time, and everybody wants to get right in there and get their tournaments going before the postseason tournaments begin.
That's true.
Solid strike, beautiful ball right there by Ray Stone.
I give Ray 70 in the 4th.
Got some great prizes to give away today in our show, too, as well, don't we?
Yes, Jamie. I'll just go down for a second. We also, like I said, $325 for first place, plus the first place plaque from the Village Engraver. Dinner for 2 at Pizza Hut. $15 gift certificate for Guy's Restaurant.
Beautiful strike by Steve LaShomb. Buries it.
That's a 4-bagger. Can't give this guy
like,
much.
Like we said, he can string them.
We also have that bowling towel from Seaway Bowl, the bowling mug from A. Capione, a jacket from A.J. Miseret, a 6-pack of Pepsi, and the winner will go to the Tournament of Champions May 14th. Right now it's $1,298.
Boy, that is great. And LaShomb just continues to pile them up like cordwood here. 5 in a row.
Yes, he is.
Well, Ray Stone is working on one, too, here.
Ray can string them together if he gets going here. He's known in the past to throw a lot of strikes.
Is it true that good bowlers make good golfers? I want to know that.
Well, I'm not a good bowler or a good golfer, so I don't know.
Tough break right there for Ray Stone, a 4.67.
I know one thing about golfing. Louie is a tremendous golfer, and we know he's a great bowler. But
well, in that case, my theory kind of holds true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Ray Stone now, and oh my, give it a pretty good try right there. That's about how you got to get that, and just takes off the 7. You just want to get a piece of that 4 and let it fall down and hope it goes over to the 6.
Yes.
Ray, his highest league average ever carried was 179. The highest series ever bowled in league play is 672, and highest game ever bowled in league play, highest single game, 279. In tournament play, 775 and 285. That's a great time to do that.
That's for sure.
And you get a look at our score, and solid Brooklyn strike for Ray Stone.
Yeah, the tournaments, that's where you want to shoot them and cash in on that money. But the problem, you win too many tournaments, and a lot of these tournaments will re-rate you.
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
just
a lot
going
of
to say,
handicap.
there's a nasty word in bowling as far as tournaments go. It's called re-rate. I've never had it happen to me, fortunately.
I've brought a few guys to tournaments where they got re-rated. They were very disturbed.
And another strike. That's 6 for Steve LaShomb, and he is on a twister here.
Yes, he is. He's getting that ball, and the pins are mixing and looking good right now.
Somebody mentioned he had a problem picking up his spares, trying to control his hook. He continues to not have that problem at all or have it arise whatsoever as you look at our score.
It's true.
He is just having a phenomenal time out there right now. And he just buries that one, no doubt about it. Solid strike again. That's 7 in a row for Steve LaShomb, and he's putting on a regular clinic here.
That's true. In the first frame, he had a 9-pin hit. That was, wow.
And Ray crossing over, 369. Ray seems to have a problem right now that I sometimes have when you got a shot out there like that. You don't know whether to speed it up or take a little off it, so you try a little bit of each, and try to get in between it, and there are just sometimes where it just doesn't happen.
No, there's a lot of things can happen, and right now he's trying to figure something out. And he's having a rough time, like you said, Jamie.
Well, the only thing you can do in a situation like that is just to stay away from the splits and keep making your spares.
Yeah.
Hope for that eventual miracle along the way.
Well, this game here, you'll see Ray back on the show. Right now, he's out of it, Jamie.
Oh, I'm sure.
But he's probably had a good time out there.
Crossing over there, he gets a break right there. Ray Stone with a strike.
I'll tell you, Stevie goes all the way. Here we go, 290. I believe 290. No, excuse me, 279.
279. 270 actual. Scratch. He goes all the way across. And you can tell he's taking a little more time, and he's thinking about that. Ninth frame. Buries it. Steve LaShomb operating at warp speed out there, basically.
Yes, he's on cloud 9, and I'll tell you.
Usually you ask somebody after they do something like that, and you got an appointment after you get done tonight, or what? When they're going that fast. Just absolutely fantastic.
Could say he's off to the races if he wins this tournament here.
8 in a row, working on 9. Solid strike. That's 9, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Unbelievable. 9 in a row for Steve LaShomb, and he is wired.
239 in the 8th.
And that's right, putting it mildly. He has buried every one of them. Oh, boy. Well. This is for 10 in a row.
There it is.
Makes you want to take the game up, don't it? Unbelievable. Just a fantastic finish here. 10 in a row for Steve LaShomb, just putting on a clinic here. And it's a tough break for Ray, because if he'd have had like he'd been going this week, we would have had really something here. Oh,
nice ball.
Left the 7-pin, but unbelievable. Steve LaShomb.
I believe that's 298. It can't be. No.
No, we'll check that again. Ray Stone will finish up, and as we said before, Ray has been red hot all this week, and if he'd have continued going, it had probably taken us about 10 minutes to do this match.
Yes, it would.
But I'm sure Ray will be back on the show, and he'll be back with a vengeance, too, I'm sure. We're glad to have him on, and we hope that he tries again. There you get a look at our score. Just unbelievable. And a big spare on the 610 for Ray Stone.
Ray could end up 165. But like I said, for Ray's efforts, he will receive $70.
And a little high on the nose right there, but
Ray leaves him with the 163, and I got Stevie 298. I'm probably wrong, JB. He's in the 280-some area.
Oh, there it is. 297 is what we have
297.
for Steve LaShomb. Just phenomenal bowling right there. A 290 actual. Or excuse me, a little less than that. But
289 actual.
289 actual, I believe it was, but just unbelievable score. And we'll be back in just a moment. More to come here on TVI's Monthly Bowling Show. And welcome back to TVI's Monthly Bowling Show. Jamie Davis along with Frank LaRose, and boy, that was some match, Frank. Just unbelievable exhibition there by Steve LaShomb.
That was fun watching, Jamie. I'll tell you, if anybody can throw 9, 10 in a row like that, like Stevie did, and go 289 scratch.
I'll tell you, it's just, and then you got to feel a little bit for Ray Stone. He just run into a buzzsaw there. That's all that happened on that one. Our next matchup, I should say, is Pete Gabor. He will take on Steve LaShomb. And this is a return trip by Pete after a lengthy absence on the show. The last time he appeared was in October of 1993.
That's true.
And he was a winner.
Yes, he was. He was a winner, one of our monthly winners, and he's been trying, but no luck.
And Pete Gabor crosses over and is able to make the spare. Once again, Steve LaShomb coming up. Pete Gabor bowls with Steve Podgorski, who's been on before, I believe. And he bowls, or Pete bowls with him on Friday nights, and he says it's always unusual.
Yes, it is. Well, Steve bowls with no thumb, okay? He's got no thumb drilled out in the ball, and sometimes it drives Pete crazy. And I tease Steve a lot, too, because he's got no hair also.
Solid strike right there. Steve LaShomb is just wired to that pocket today. It's almost like there's a magnet between the 1-3 pocket and the ball right now.
He can't miss. I'll tell you, he's throwing a heck of a ball.
Must be kind of boring not to have any variety in your game, right?
He's not getting his money's worth either. He's throwing just one ball, Jamie.
No, that's true. Oh, and that one just gets a little bit outside. A little fast on that one, I think, and leaving the 2-7. Ball traveling a little bit faster than it has been.
Stevie, he'll come back, though. And like I said, he had a heck of a string there. It's amazing. I don't know how many I've ever had in a row, but I get nervous on 5. So.
There are just some days, and when you walk into a bowling alley, you just know that that's going to happen, too. Ooh, chop of a 2 off the 7. After you've shot about 3 or 4 balls in your league play, you can almost tell whether you're going to have one of those nights or not.
That's true. That's true. Some nights you can bowl real good, and next night you'll come back in the same house, and even on the same pair, and bowl 200 pins under that series. So.
Pete Gabor again, solid pocket strike right there. We saw him throw a couple of those in practice. Pete is employed at the Massena Auto Parts. Of course, lives right here in Massena. His wife, I hope I say this right, Keeley, is it?
Yes, it is, Keeley.
I'm
yes.
2 for 2 on
there
names
you go.
today. And, of course, this little girl at home, age 3, Michaela, and maybe she's probably here today watching as well.
Yes, she is, Jamie. She's sitting right there in her mother's lap, cheering her father on.
Ooh, Pete a little bit high with that one, 4.79. He has a high league average of 191. Highest series ever bowled in league play was 706. Highest game ever bowled in league play was 266. In tournament play, triple of 721. And a 300 game, he says, but it was 9-pin no tap.
9-pin no tap. Last year, right here at Seaway Bowl.
Try on the 4.79, just a little bit to the left, and picks off the 7. Brings up Steve LaShomb again.
Left Pete with 56 in the 3rd.
90 entries this month isn't too bad. We're kind of at, like we said, we're on the other end of the season now, and we'll probably get a whole herd of them next month.
That's true.
As the season winds down.
Well, the first week, the first day of the qualifying, Louie went out and shot that 737, so it might have scared a few people the first day. So.
Yeah, there's always some other places, though, you can make it. Hey, you never know. You might get hot, and you might end up on the top.
I don't know. But even if you don't make the show.
It's a lot of fun trying out for it.
Yes.
Well, that one there a little bit high, and looks like the 3-4-7.
Yes, it is. I mean, that's a tough spare right there.
And it's like you said, you know, with that type of shot he throws, here's one of those weird ones you were talking about right here.
The last ball, he wasn't as strong as he has been.
A little bit outside, and he makes it. What a shot! 3-4-7 for Steve LaShomb, and
Wow.
What a shot. That is not an easy shot in anybody's book.
No, it isn't. That was amazing, Jamie. I'll tell you, that was amazing.
Wow, what a shot. 3-4-7. Picked it right up.
Makes the game look easy.
It sure does. Unbelievable. And he's right back on his game again. It only takes one shot to get you going again. And
that puts him up by 1 pin right now with that strike.
Well, we've got a close match going here. A difference of 1 pin, I believe it is, between
Yes,
the two of them in the handicap. Pete Gabor now. Ooh, a solid strike. Almost gets a little bit of a break right there, but leaves the 4-pin.
So getting back to what I was saying, Jamie, on the TV show, if you don't make the show, we also pay back 1 for every 10 entries. So people that do not make the show, if you cash, you get money back.
Oh,
so.
certainly. Certainly. Cross alley shot for the 4-pin, and he picks it right up. Good spare by Pete Gabor.
He's also throwing that cold red made by Track. Seems to enjoy it.
Seems to be a popular ball right now among bowlers. How's the finishing power on that ball?
It depends what you do with the ball. A lot of the balls now with the resin reactants, you want to shine them up to give it that skid and then snap on the end, okay? Like with Stevie's ball, very, very dull finish, though. And he's got, you know, a lot of snap anyways.
Oh, a little bit to the right there, and leaves the 2-pin. They track nicely. Good tracking.
They track
ball?
up a lot, Jamie. That's the only problem with the new balls out. They're so soft that they pick up everything.
Now,
okay?
a lot of people out there probably don't understand. We ought to explain that. There are some bowlers out there that don't understand what we mean by tracking.
Okay.
It's almost like getting a groove in your bowling ball, I guess would be the only way to really describe it. Good spare there by Pete Gabor. Maybe you'd like to tell everybody what that is, Frank.
With the bowling ball nowadays, years ago they made a ball that lasts for years and years and years. Nowadays the ball will track fast, okay? What we mean by tracking is the track's going to wear up if you don't take care of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The ball will break more the conditions of the lanes also. In other words, the surface nowadays, there's no more lacquer finish, Jamie. It's all urethane, it's synthetic, etc. And these balls are designed to skid and snap on the end.
Solid pocket hit by Steve LaShomb.
And you ask the pros today, they'll tell you that they bowl 90-some games a week. We all know that. These players out here don't do that. They go through a ball probably in 40 games because the track's gone. And if you don't take care of the new resin balls, you'll wear that track out a normal ball or wear it out in a season.
Big spare by Steve LaShomb on the 10-pin. And you're starting to see more and more bowlers, and I've noticed if you talk to, back when Dick Weber was in Watertown a while back, I asked him about how many more bowlers are coming on the tour and throwing the ball like his son Pete, and he says that it's a lot, Jamie. It's a lot more than it ever was. The down and in shot is pretty much gone, and he says a lot of the new fellas on the tour now are starting to throw that shot like that.
Yes, they are.
Solid pocket hit by Steve LaShomb.
Gives Stevie 97 in the 5th.
Probably the ball that, if you want to talk about an older ball, it was a ball that would track real quick, was the old Manhattan rubber. That's about as close as you're going to get to something back 25, 30 years ago that would react like that.
That's true.
A little bit outside, 1-2-5.
The Manhattan rubber, they don't make a rubber ball anymore.
No.
That's gone. It's plastic, urethane, resin reactive, or synthetic bowling ball, which I haven't never seen a synthetic bowling ball around here yet. I don't think they'd use them around here. But like I said, back then they made the bowling ball to last and last. Now they don't.
Solid spare on the 1-2-5.
And the cost of a bowling ball today is a lot different. Back
Oh boy, is it ever. I think the first bowling ball I ever owned, my mother bought for me, and it was, I can't even remember now. It was an old AMF ball. It was a very light one. It had 3 stars on it.
3-dot.
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 $30 for the old 3-dot.
And it will probably last for years and years, too.
I think I still got it somewhere. Solid strike right there for Pete Gabor.
Gives Pete 112 in the 6th, working on a strike, excuse me. Yeah, with the bowling balls today, a lot of people don't like to pay that price. And unfortunately, you see the pros on TV and they want that ball. They got to realize they're not a pro, okay?
Right.
Even though they want the ball, the ball's not going to react the same as if the pro was shooting.
And that's when you get a hold of your local pro and your local pro shop and talk to them and let them take a look at what you do throw, which is a good way to do it, and they can pretty well fit a ball to what you want.
That's true.
Or to suit your style. Steve LaShomb, solid strike right there.
Gives him a double, Jamie. He's coming back. He's going ahead right now, matter of fact.
You know, it might have been, it's a free thing. You know, Steve was going right along there with a lot of strikes. All of a sudden he had two that got away from him like that. He may have caught himself going a little too fast or something, and now he slowed right back down again. Solid strike. No doubt about that one. Solid triple.
He could have went into, like, you know, you say a flaw or a daze or something. All of a sudden he realized, hey, you know, what am I doing? And snapped out of it, and he's got a three-bagger.
Now here's Pete Gabor. One thing about Pete, when he is in the pocket, the pins are all gone completely. There's no doubt about it. Oh, my. Solid pocket hit, making a liar out of me for sure right there. 4-9.
That was a fluke. That's all that was. You know, it hurts your score, but there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there isn't. And the worst part about that, when that 4-9 shows up like that, is every pin is sucked back into the pit, and there's that 4-9, and you wonder, how could that possibly stay there like
That's
that?
true. That's true.
That's when a ball is really turning. And Pete gives it a try to slide the 4 into the 9, but not this time. So he will try to make amends over here on lane 5.
He's got his work cut out for him. I give him a 140 right now in the 8. He can't afford any more mistakes there.
Pete, of course, as we said, resides right here in Massena, as you get a look at our score. Right there, and lane 5 seems to be Pete's lane. He's been right there quite a bit on that side.
I noticed he slowed his ball down a lot compared to what he's used to bowling a couple weeks ago, Jamie. It could be to do with the new ball he's got, but he used to throw a lot harder. I know we went to Oswego 3 weeks ago to bowl in the Budweiser Bud 2 Bowl, and we hit some oil down there. The guys were there.
I have bowled at Panorama. It's a funny house.
Yes, it is.
Steve LaShomb with a solid strike. But the funny thing about that is, you know, a lot of bowlers, and a lot of your regular avid bowlers have been at it for a long time, and so will tell you, you can go to another house and have to speed up and change your timing and everything. Then when you come back to your own house, you've got to try to go back and step back and try to get back into that again, and oh boy, that's a real nice adjustment.
Yes, it's hard too.
It is hard. Solid pocket hit right there for Steve LaShomb, and he leaves a solid 10-pin. And you've almost got it's almost like starting to bowl all over again.
Plus, you get all that oil on your ball, and you know, it take a while to clean it, whatnot, and then they look at me and they said, "Boy, it's nice to be home."
And a big spare right there on the 10-pin for Steve LaShomb.
Oh, he's going to be our winner, Jamie. He's at 206 right now in the 9th.
Pete Gabor, if he did strike out, would only be a 200.
200 even, yes.
But Pete threw some good balls in that game. He just, especially that deal with that 4-9, a solid pocket hit. And a mixer for Steve LaShomb. When it's going for you, it really goes for you.
Yes, it is. And he's thrown a lot of strikes.
Little Yogi Berra right there.
Pete, Stevie had 226 that game. Very nice game again.
Unbelievable. Pete Gabor right now, a little outside, just gets the head pin, gets good mix, but leaving the 2-pin right there, and Pete's not going to have too bad a game right here. Possible 180 if he spares and strikes right here.
It's true, and he'll be back on the show. He'll tries, you know, he bowls 3 times a week this year. Well, twice and then sub and whatnot, but he's a competitor.
And that one stayed out on him just a little bit, but oh yeah, we're starting to see some different faces on the show right now.
Which is good.
Oh, that's always good. We always like to see that. So we take a look at the final score. And in just a moment, we'll bring it up on the screen for you to see. And there it is, the final score. 225 to 168, and Steve LaShomb will advance once again. And coming up next, I do believe we have our tip of the week. So let's go to our tip of the month, I should say. Let's go to our tip of the month.
Hello, bowlers, and welcome once again to Tip of the Month, sponsored by TVI. Today we're going to talk about how a bowler will get ahead of the ball at the foul line. And with us today, Tony Laffin, our main sponsor for TVI, and my brother Frank LaRose. And he'll show you exactly what the problem occurs during bowling, as to what will occur and how you get ahead of the ball and what you're doing and how to correct it.
Mostly what happens to people when they first start bowling and they warm up, they're straight up, which you should be when you make a delivery of a bowling ball. And as the course through the games, everything they're trying to speed up, which means they're not pushing off and they're running to the approach. Well, the time they get to the approach, the ball isn't where it should be. It shouldn't be down where you are at the foul line, so you got to speed everything up. Normal stance for myself, when I first start off bowling, I'm up straight, picking a target on the lane, pushing out, bending down, walking through. Through the course of the game, you have a tendency of rushing. And what I mean by rushing, 90% of the women have this problem. So I want to explain what you're doing wrong, if I can. Is when they get their bowling ball, and they're up, either left-handed or right-hand, what you should do on your first step is push off. 90% of the women, of course, and some men, they do this. They'll walk. They'll keep walking. Before they realize it, they're getting close to the foul line, and they got to bring everything down and speed up their feet, which is wrong, because your timing is not there.
That's where you see where the bowler gets ahead of the ball. When the bowler gets to the foul line, the foot is there, but the ball is way back here. And there's no way you can make a good, clean shot. You've got to rush everything, and then you start pulling the ball, forcing the ball, or you'll leave the ball way out right.
That's why when you start off, everything's good. Oh, I got 3 strikes in a row. All of a sudden, you stop thinking. You start rushing. The ball isn't where it should be. And you say, what am I doing wrong? And you stop to think, okay, I'm rushing everything. My timing isn't there. Another bowler will tell you the same thing. Slow down, push off, go back to where you normally were, and you should be back where you should be on the lane.
So once again, that's one of our bowling tips for our show here, sponsored by TVI.
Well, welcome back to TVI's monthly bowling show. We kind of got cut off on the end of that tip of the week. But you know what the funny part about that is, Frank, is when we were watching that, it was just like I was just talking about right there, and how to come back and how to readjust and your timing. That has a lot to do with your game.
Oh, it sure does, Jamie. And you could be throwing 3, 4 strikes in a row, all of a sudden go to the laps and say, what am I doing wrong? And timing, and very important, like you said.
All right, our championship match is ready to go, and it's Louie LaRose and Steve LaShomb, and this ought to be a dandy.
It should be. Louie right now is 10 pins over his average, so he's got to use 0 handicap.
Solid strike right there by Louie LaRose to start things off. And these two bowlers both can string them.
Yes, they can. And Louie's got that funny-looking shirt on today, his golfing shirt. He's getting ready for Myrtle Beach, I guess, in April.
He's inviting spring back, like a lot of us are right now, I think.
You know, we had a mild winter, but I can't wait till spring gets here.
Me too. I agree with you 100%. Brings up Steve LaShomb, and Steve has, well, basically put on a regular clinic today on bowling.
He sure has thrown a lot of strikes. And see if he can continue.
Good rolling ball. Solid strike right there. And I don't think these two bowlers are going to give each other one iota.
Not at all. Not at all. Stevie's got quite an audience over here.
This is all about, this is like one of those matches that you hope, like in tennis or something, that would happen. You know, crowd is really up for this match right here.
That's true.
Little Little outside, Steve LaShomb, and he leaves the 2-pin. As we said before, Steve works part-time here right at FNL Seaway Bowl, and also helps his dad out at Guy's Restaurant. He lives right here in Massena. Likes baseball, softball, horse racing, reading, and of course bowling. Big spare on the 2-pin, and once again that'll bring up Louie LaRose. And Louie's got an awful lot of accomplishments in this sport, and he loves this sport right to death, just about.
I believe he's the only person in Massena that's had 3 300 games, one at Bowmore on East Starvis Street.
Solid strike for Louie LaRose.
And he's got a bad knee too, Jamie. I'm not taking, give him any weaknesses or what, but he knows he's got to go in and get that knee taken care of. And
well, he talked with me before the match got started, and he said to me last month, he said, if I can qualify next month in the #1 spot, I won't have to bowl as many games, and this knee won't bother me.
That's true.
And he did just that.
Yes, he did.
Good rolling shot. Solid strike right there by Louie LaRose. And he's off to a great start.
I guess 3 in a row.
Frank, what have we got for a handicap difference here?
Oh, Stevie's getting 9 pins. Like I said, Louie's average on Sunday nights right now is 204, and he's 10 pins over his limit compared to last year. So he has to use that average, and he has no handicap. For the way he's bowling, he doesn't need it.
9 pins is a lot to give to Steve LaShomb when he's on like this.
Yes, it is.
And the mixer strike for Steve LaShomb.
This is going to be a good match right here.
Yes, I think we're going to see this one. We're going to see a lot of strikes right here. Okay, we have a change. We're doing a little research here. A little outside, and a 2-pin for Steve LaShomb. We have 8-pin handicap. We're sorry about that. Steve LaShomb with an 8-pin handicap. That's still too many to give Steve when he's on.
Yes.
A lot of pins for Steve LaShomb. As we said, Steve, a 19-year, we can say, veteran of the sport. And he picks up that spare.
There we go. I got to straighten around now, Jamie. It's 68 he's got right now in the 3rd, working on a spare.
One of the things that Louie has said is that always, think positive and good things will happen.
That's true.
That's a good line right there. Ooh, mixer there. 7-pin staying there.
That bowling ball he's throwing, Jamie, it's a Quantum made by Brunswick. 2 years they come out with that. The first week he got it, he shot a 300 game with it, and he's sticking with it ever since, and he's brought his average, like I said, up 10, 11 pins from last year with that ball. It's amazing. It hits hard.
Cross alley shot. Solid spare for Louie LaRose. I'd probably stay with the ball, too, if I had a 300 with it.
That's true.
I wouldn't let the thing out of my sight.
And bowling with the ball, you got 300. You got a nice jacket from Brunswick, plus everything required you got from ABC, which is nice. The ring and
that ring is an awful nice thing.
Yes, it is.
Has been down through the years. That's the ultimate bowler's dream, is to get that ring right there for that 300 game. Solid pocket strike. That's a funny situation. Is there still the Emerald deal when you get the 299? There's something there too, and I can't remember what it was.
I believe there's 3 rings you can get. 298 up.
Yeah.
And to get the diamond one, I believe you can purchase that if you want it. You can purchase that. We've had a guy order a diamond ring.
Solid strike right there for Steve LaShomb.
But it is a very nice ring. Like 100 pins over average, you get a nice watch too from ABC. And that's all part of being sanctioned in a sanctioned league.
And they are very, very nice. I've seen a number of bowlers in the past who have bowled 300s, and I've had the chance to see those rings, and they are gorgeous. Oh, solid strike, Steve LaShomb.
We got a good match right here, Jamie.
And he is not letting up.
No, he isn't.
And I think he knows he shouldn't. I'm sure he's thinking of that. Louie LaRose now. Oh, and a mixer strike for Louie LaRose.
There's a double for Louie. Louie right now, Louie's up by 11 pins, Jamie.
Well, we've seen some great bowling today on the show, and we've seen a couple of fellas return that haven't been on in a while, which is good.
And they'll be back. The guys
I'm sure they will. You know, Pete Gabor getting on the show after his last appearance being in October of 1993, and that's great to see somebody back once again.
Yes.
Outside a little bit, 2, 4, 5. And of course, 90 entries this month. Not a bad list of entries.
Not too bad for this month.
Maybe, Frank, you'd like to tell everybody again how they can qualify for this show.
That's true.
Love to have them on.
During league play, don't be shy if you got some handicap. This is a handicap tournament. $12 during league play. During open play, 18. Come on down with a person to bowl with you.
And a big spare on the 2, 4, 5.
It gives Louie 146 in the 6. Steve's working on a double, Jamie.
Now, a lot of people, I don't think, realize this, that they can enter this tournament even though they are not a league bowler, but they do have to pay the ABC or the WIBC sanction in order to get in. Is this not correct?
This is true. If they're not sanctioned this year, and they had an average last year in a sanctioned league, they can come down. It's unattached sanction. And I believe for the men, I believe it's $10. The ladies, I don't know what it is for the ladies.
Solid strike right there by Steve LaShomb. Yeah, that's true. If anybody who participated in a league last year and would like to try out for the show, maybe you just haven't had time to join a league this season. You've been in a situation like I am. But you can come down and you pay your sanction fee. Your association fee also, too, is in that or not? I
believe that it's all built into one price.
It's all into one thing. So take care of all of that. And see if you can try out for the show. That's unbelievable. Steve LaShomb, that is 4 in a row.
It's coming on again, Jamie.
Just...
Yeah, with the tournament, and if you don't have an average, you can bowl scratch.
Oh, yes, certainly. So one way or the other, you can try out for TV.
Yes.
Louie a little bit high there with that one.
That leaves Louie right now 165 in the 7th.
Louie is averaging right now, he's averaging 204, and that is fantastic bowling right there to average over 200. I can remember back when you were really something if you averaged 190.
That's true. That's true. But with the equipment out there you can use and buy, you know, the ball, sometimes the ball does help you a lot. You know, the newer balls, the way they hit, you can drill them 1,500 different ways as long as they're drilled in regards to the specs, you know, for a bowling ball where the weights can't be off over 1.5 ounces side weight, etc. But
and it's good to have your own ball. Anybody who wants to take this game seriously and do well at it, you should have your own ball.
Definitely, Jamie.
And a swisher strike right there for Louie LaRose. That's one of the things when I was a junior coach, that I tried to get most of my bowlers to do. I wasn't out to sell bowling balls for the bowling center, but if they were really going to take the game seriously, get their own ball, because a lot of the weeks, the juniors, I remember we used to come in, I used to try to get there at 9 o'clock in the morning just so I could get the same ball every week to use it.
It's true.
If you got your own, it's a lot easier.
But it's true. You got to have your own equipment, and
solid strike right there by Steve LaShomb.
That's Stevie's got 5 in a row, Jamie. I'll tell you, he's on a tear. He's on a tear.
Fantastic bowling right there.
Yeah, getting back to your own equipment, you want to have it. That's like bowling shoes. A lot of the junior bowlers, younger ones, they don't have their own shoes, but as they get older, you want to have your own equipment.
Solid 10-pin spare by Steve LaShomb. My equipment was broken up the first year. I took my own shoes to the bowling alley, and of course I picked up a lane ball and used it. And my Christmas present the year after that was a bowling ball, so then I had the set. The set after that. And you can always plug and re-drill a ball if you don't want a new ball. That can always be done. And
that's true. We do that with our junior bowlers a lot. They buy a ball from us as they get older, we don't even charge them. We'll plug it for them. They're boning our leagues, and it saves the parents a little money.
Yeah, there's a lot of places out there that'll do that. Solid strike, and Steve LaShomb is putting on an exhibition here. Just unbelievable. Now, I would dare say that Steve has just about been letter perfect. We saw him in that last game just get, well, not wild with it, but just a little outside his line, and then all of a sudden he was right back in it again. Mark of a good bowler when that happens.
Yes.
Solid pocket hit, but leaves the 10 pin.
He picks this, Jamie, he can go 236.
Just absolutely amazing today. Well over 200 average for the show.
And if Louie strikes out, he's going to lose by 1.
Unbelievable. What a match.
Louie will lose by 1 if he strikes out. We could have a tie. I don't want to put no pressure on Stevie. Okay.
There it is right there. The big spare for Steve LaShomb.
Okay, I got Stevie correction with a 237. Okay, I've been wrong before. Like I said, the best Louie can do.
There you get a look at our score. Both bowlers throwing beautiful balls out there. Here's Louie LaRose. Good rolling shot. Gets the mix, but no luck on that 7 pin, and it stays right there. Well, Frank, I want to thank you for sitting in today.
Oh, I enjoyed it, Jamie, and hope Tony gets back on his vacation there, and got a good show coming up next too, Jamie, is our adult child show.
And the spare on the 7 pin for Louie LaRose.
Best Louie can do, Jamie, is 225.
Louie's a big hockey fan, too, I might add.
Yeah, we're both Montreal Canadian fans, and we knew how they did last night, which was terrible.
Good rolling shot there, and solid strike. No thumb there.
No thumb in that one.
Just a fantastic exhibition by both of these bowlers. There you have it, the final score, 237 to 225, and we'll be back in just a moment to talk to our bowlers. You can hear me okay, right? Okay, welcome back to TVI's monthly bowling show. And we had some phenomenal bowling today, and we're getting all the prizes out here. Frank kind of doing triple duty today. Gee, I see you found somebody to hand out the money and the prizes.
Yes, this is Louie's better half, Bonnie LaRose. Tell you, a great show, Jamie.
We had a great show today, Frank, and I want to thank you for helping us out. Okay, we're going to call the bowlers up here now, and the first bowler up, he lost in that first match, but I'm sure this won't be his last appearance on the show. Leo LaShomb. Leo? And Leo coming out here.
Hey, Leo. Right in here, Leo. Good. I will. A couple of things I'd like to say before we get started.
Leo, you had one of those days today. You've had a couple of times on the show where you've had things happen to you like that.
Well, Jamie, I had a no-lose situation today. And I was happy to see Steve win. Steve beat a couple of tough opponents, especially Louie in the last game. I don't think either one of them missed the pocket. It was a give-and-take situation. And, of course, I'm always happy to see Steve, whatever he does. I'm always happy to see him do good. And at this time, I'd like to thank Tony Laughlin and for sponsoring the show and the Seaway Bowl, and for you guys for doing such a good job all the time, Jamie.
Well, thank you, Leo, and we're very happy to have you on the show because you support it very well yourself.
Oh, well, I do. It's my pleasure. This is my hobby.
And just to show you how glad we are to have you on the show, we've got a little money over here for you.
I appreciate that.
Okay. So
$60 for fifth place and
Don't
a
forget my
FNL
towel.
Seaway Bowl bowling towel.
I'm running low because Steve steals them all. Thank you.
Okay, Leo LaShomb, our fifth place finisher today. We move on to the fourth place finisher, Ray Stone. Ray?
I'm here, but there you go. Stand right in here, turn around.
Ray, you had a little trouble out there today.
I ran into a buzzsaw.
Well, that's exactly what I said earlier.
You got a lot of wood today.
Well, Ray, we're glad to see you on the show, and we're glad that you were able to make it, and we hope to see you back.
I'll try to be back.
And we've got a little money here for you.
Oh, good.
Ray, 4th place, $70.
Thank
I
you.
know you'll be back. You're shooting well all week. And the F&L Seaway Bowl towel, Ray. Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Ray Stone, ladies and gentlemen. And we move on now to our next bowler, and he hasn't been here in a while. His last appearance was in October of 1993. Pete Gabor. Pete? And of course, it's always good, Frank, to see somebody get back on the show that hasn't been on in quite a while.
Yes,
Pete, you want to turn right around here in front of the camera? Pete, as we said, you haven't been on the show since October of 1993.
Nope.
It's got to feel good to be back.
Yeah, it felt good to be back and bowl a little bit better, but...
And I'm sure this isn't going to be your last appearance. You're going to try to make it again.
No, we'll try again.
All right, we got some money for you over here. Frank?
Pete, 3rd place, $80.
Thank you.
Give that to your wife.
Oh, yeah, yes, you'll get
And
that.
that famous Seaway Bowl towel, Pete. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the show, Pete. Hope to see you again sometime. Pete Gabor. And we move on up the line to a gentleman who's been bowling for the past couple of months with an injured knee and doing very well, I might add. Louie LaRose. Louie? Louie, the veteran campaigner, and Louie, you and I talked off camera and last month, and we said the best thing for you to do with this knee the way it was is probably end up in the #1 seed, and you wouldn't have to bowl the whole thing, and that's what you did.
I did just that, Jamie, but I ran into a buzzsaw there. Stevie was hot. I think the last game he could have threw 300.
Well, I think he averaged, I think Frank and I were talking easily somewhere between 215 and 220 average today. Just fantastic.
Shooting. Everybody shot well today. The lanes were good. Just matter of carrying, I guess.
Well, we still have some money for you. That's got to make you feel better right here, Frank.
Louis, $165, the towel.
All right.
You'll be back. Good bowling.
Okay, bro.
Thank you, Louie. Hope to see you on the show again. Louie LaRose. Well, now we work our way to the #1 spot, and he was hot today. Steve LaShomb. Steve? Steve, you had a fantastic day. It was just one of those days where you step up on the lanes and you know after probably about 4 shots, you know you're going to have one of those great days.
Yeah, I was lined up today. I was hitting the pocket good. It was just a matter of carrying the corner pins again. One match against Louie, I carried a little bit more than he did. Just had a good day today.
No, one match that we saw you, it looked like you got a little bit off your game, but then all of a sudden you got right back on and adjusting like that. That's a mark of a good bowler right there.
Was that the game against Leo? It had to be. I think bowling my dad, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking than bowling anybody else, I think. But he beat me last time, and I got my revenge this time.
You had a great day out there today, and Frank, I'm just going to hand you the microphone. We got an awful lot of prizes to give this young man.
Yes, we do, Jamie. And first of all, Stevie, congratulations.
Thanks,
I'll
Frank.
tell you, you bowled great. I need some lessons. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, I just want to say the lanes were in great shape, really good shape for the past couple of weeks they've been.
Okay, Stevie, first of all, Bonnie's got $325 for you. You also have the F&L Bowl Seaway Bowl towel.
Excellent.
Okay. Also, for first place, we have that beautiful plaque from the Village Engraver. Your name will be engraved on it. We also have a dinner for 2 at Pizza Hut.
Good.
You got a $15 gift certificate from Guy's Restaurant.
Hey, all right.
We have a bowling mug from A. Capione, a beautiful, beautiful stein. It's a collector's item, Stevie. You'll enjoy this.
Great.
You get all that. We have a jacket from A.J. Meseret.
All right. Need more hands here.
Also, a 6-pack of Pepsi, and this is Diet Pepsi. Your dad told me you're putting on a little weight to give you some Diet Pepsi.
No.
But most of all, Stevie, you're going into the Tournament of Champions. Okay, your name will be put on the wall. $1,298 so far, and money's coming in every time we have an entry.
Excellent.
Nice bowling. I'm going to turn it back to Jamie. Quite a bowler here, Jamie.
He certainly was. He had a fantastic day today, and we've had a fantastic time here. So we'll see you next time on TVI's Monthly Bowling Show.